I am Veronica of veronicadrake.com. Welcome to my channel. And I have always been somebody that's done things the simple way and the practical way, and teaching spirituality and spiritual techniques to help you live a calmer, more confident, powerful life is where I'm coming from. So today I'm going to dive in and tackle a subject that I know all of us struggle with, and that is the constant chatter of our minds. So, first thing you need to know, we are born with chatter. It's inevitable. We're born with it. It's instilled in us. Now, having said that, it isn't the same chatter that we get when we get to be, I don't know, 15, 16, 17, or maybe 20s or 30s. Our mind chatter constantly changes. But one thing that never changes is the inherent chatter, the chatter we're born with, the chatter that sounds like you are what you came from. You are a beautiful being of light. You are whole and complete just as you are. You are an extension of divine love. That's what we're born with. That never goes away. But what happens, life comes in on this human plane, and we begin to tell a different mind story. And so I want you to picture yourself as a 3, 4-year-old child. Now, maybe you don't have the specifics of it, maybe you can't remember the details. And if that's too much of a stretch, picture a 3 or 4-year-old child that you know, or maybe you've seen just in the grocery store. When that child is indulging in mind chatter, it looks like this. This is my grandson I'm referencing. Oh, look at my sneakers. My sneakers light up. Oh, look at that squirrel. Look how fast it runs. Look. Oh, look at over there. Look at the clouds. Why are the clouds making those shapes? Oh, look at the trees blow. Oh, look at the water. Look at the waves on the water. Everything is so easy. Everything moves all at once. Oh, look at that swing. I want to move back and forth on that swing. That's the source chatter. That's born into us and of us as we grow older. We become more disconnected from the wonder of source. When you look at a 3-year-old child, they're mesmerized and their mind is going a million miles a minute about their shoelaces. It's the simplest things. Now, I know as a 55-year-old woman, I'm probably not going to just focus on my shoelaces and how I can make them come together, because there's real life, okay? But what I can do, and this is what I want to teach you to do, I encourage you, I invite you to meditate. Now stay with me, don't roll your eyes, because what I define as meditation and how I teach meditation is much different than climbing to the mountaintop and oming it all in. Okay, so stay with me. So here's how I want you to think of this, the word meditation. It is simply taking your mind and focusing and leaning into what is most prominent around you. So let me give you an example. In this room where I am right now, there's a clock ticking. Now, I don't know if you can hear it, but you know what a clock ticking sounds like. Tick, 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 tick. And so what I do, I focus or I lean into, with my mind, the ticking of the clock. So whatever's happening up here, whatever I'm swirling in, whatever I'm lost in, it's probably not my shoelaces. And so I'm just going to lean into, listen to, become one rhythm with my thoughts and the clock. So the next thing, I'm sitting here in my office drinking my cup of coffee, and all of a sudden, the mower starts going outside. So now I gently shift my focus over to the rhythm of the lawnmower. And I'm noticing the lawnmower. I'm completely focused on the lawnmower. After a couple minutes of that, I can hear my husband out in the front room. And maybe he's running the vacuum cleaner because he's the stay-at-home husband. So maybe he's running the vacuum cleaner. I then take my attention because my mind naturally wants to go to what it hears, and I focus my attention on the vacuum cleaner. And I listen to the rhythm of the vacuum cleaner. And that is how I meditate. And I invite you and I encourage you to do that. Now, one of the things you can be sure of, no matter what's happening up here, chatter, no matter what it is, you are attracting and creating. That's a given. There's no way around that. So think of this. If you're up here and your mind is constantly looping and chattering on things that are heavy and angst-ridden and filled with fear, that's what you're going to get. So let's go back to the 3-year-old child who runs around at the playground, and maybe she's enamored with the way her ponytail swings when she runs. Or maybe she's hyper-focused on the mulch chips that are at the bottom of the swing set. She's vibrating at a very high level. She is pure joy. Now, at 55, I'm going to tell you, I can get and am in pure joy more than I am in angst, fear, and frustration, because I've trained my mind using this technique that I just shared with you. It takes time, and I'm going to tell you why it takes time and why meditation is important. When you're doing this, looping in your mind about your fear of whatever it is, you're vibrating at a very low level. Oh, it's heavy. It's overwhelming. And the joy that you're going to get to is way up here. And so guess what? You have this huge gap. And so you can't jump from here to here. That's why meditation, focusing the mind, is so important, because it closes the gap between the frequencies. So if you're in a mindset of panic and fear and frustration, and I say to you, oh, go focus on the sunshine and the trees and be joyful, probably not going to happen. But if you take it in incremental steps, you hear the clock, you sit with the clock. Then you hear the next noise, and you sit with the next noise and the next noise. Now, all of a sudden, you're not looping up here anymore because you're hyper-focused on the noises. And that is how I meditate. So, if this was helpful, please subscribe to my channel, share this with your friends, go watch the rest of my videos, and come on over to Facebook and join my group, Making the Spiritual Practical. I'll put the link below. And let's all raise our vibrations together, because, hey, we're all in this together. There's no two ways around that.